In this video, I'll cover 5 important factors to keep in mind when cellaring wine. Everyone's situation is different, but the better the storage conditions, the better chance your age-worthy wines will reach their full potential. Also in this video, I'll provide a sneak peek into one of the most impressive wine cellars I've ever visited. And since it doesn't feel right to do a wine video without actually drinking wine, I'll open a bottle of Bordeaux that I've cellared for more than 2 decades. Let's get something out of the way. The vast majority of wines do not improve with time. Even though it's been repeated again and again that wine improves with age, it's only true for a small segment of all wines. I'm confidently stating that over 95% of the world's wine is made to be consumed within a few years of the vintage. These are wines built on highlighting the primary fruit characteristics with the aromas and flavors that are akin to the grape itself versus the winemaking process or bottle aging. When they lose their freshness and bright character, they quickly go into decline. If you're looking for wines to cellar away that actually evolve and improve with time, being selective is important, but that's a topic for another video. Years ago, I read a study showing that over 90% of all wine bought in retail stores is consumed within 48 hours. That said, wine should be thought of as a perishable product. Most have a short life cycle, but for some it can be many years. All wine should be stored with a level of care to show its full potential, whether it's just for a short time or for an extended period. Hi, I'm Bob Polinsky. I've been a master of wine for more than 20 years, and I've worked in the wine trade for more than 40 years. I post YouTube videos as often as I can. If you're enjoying this video and you've not yet subscribed, please consider doing so right now. Hit that like button, definitely hit the notification bell, that way you'll be kept up to speed on all things happening here. And if you have any like-minded wine friends, please share this video. All these things help to grow my channel. It's much appreciated.
Because they know that I protect wine the perfect condition in this part of Europe.
Yes.
And they know if they like wine, they know that when I will have this wine, I protect this wine as much as possible. It's professional cellar. It's nothing to do a show in a cellar. It's a professional technological cellar which I protect wine to control humidity and to control temperature for perfect level of the wines.
I can't overstate the importance of this first point. The right temperature is critical. Ideally, it should be around 55 Fahrenheit, 13 Celsius. The acceptable range is 45 Fahrenheit, 7 Celsius at the low end, to an absolute max of 65 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius at the high end. At the very least, do not store your wines above appliances, near cooking areas, in a laundry room, or anywhere near a heat source. Avoid the refrigerator for long-term storage as well, as it tends to be too cold and dry. Equally important is a consistent temperature.
But wine hate very short shock change of temperature. Wine hate completely. Stabilization, okay.
Right.
Slowly, of course. When you have 15, 20 years old wine, it's more delicate.
Bright light, especially direct sunlight and any source of strong UV light, is very harmful to the long-term storage of your wine. This is the reason why you should never buy wine that's been sitting in a storefront window. Low intensity light is best. Andrew uses a red light, which is low in UV. Controlling UV light also links to the color of the wine bottles. Clear glass bottles block almost no UV light. Green glass blocks about 50%, and dark brown glass blocks about 90% of UV light.
More, I love humidity more near 70% relative humidity because this protects me about cork. Because when you have a bottle, you have a liquid here. Humidity here is 100%. If keep humidity near 100% with this side, condition of a wine will be perfect for long term.
Yes.
When this is humidity will be 30 or 20%, condition of cork will be changing, and this is very important to know when you have a great wines, when you have the champagnes, when you have fantastic wine, you should control condition.
This one doesn't get a lot of attention, but storing your wines away from appliances, motors, and alike is necessary. The science behind this point is not completely clear, but vibration can impact wines by not allowing sediment to settle. There are also studies that show reduced aromatics and other chemical reactions that impact both a wine's aroma and taste. Air quality may not be the first thing that comes to mind, but I've experienced this firsthand. Years ago, I was hired to assess old wines that happened to be stored in a woodwork shop. The conditions were excellent, other than the strong smell of varnish. After extended exposure, the varnish fumes penetrated the corks and ruined the wine. While cork closure bottles should be rested on their sides for long term storage, wines with alternative closures, like screw caps or glass caps, are best stored standing upright. With screw caps, always check the condition of the closure to make sure it's not damaged, as this can compromise the seal of the bottle. I'm opening a bottle of 1998 Sociando Mallet. This is from the left bank of Bordeaux. I've been a fan of this property for decades. It's long reminded me of some of the top wines from nearby Saint Estèphe. It's made mostly from Cabernet Sauvignon with a lesser amount of Merlot and just a small amount of Cabernet Franc. The wines see time in oak. A good part of it is new oak. If you can find the 1998, expect to pay about $75. The current releases run about $45. With older wines, always note the fill level before you open the bottle. In this case, you can see the fill level is excellent. It's well within the neck of the bottle. But here's another example that's not showing so well. You can see it's at the mid-shoulder level. This is often a sign that the cork is not doing its job. Sometimes this can be a result of poor storage. The color of this wine looks very healthy for being 20 plus years old. It's medium deep at the core with some bricking out at the edge of the glass. Now, with older wines, it's always a good idea to examine the condition of the cork once it's been extracted. This is the cork from the 98 Sociando Mallet, the wine that I just opened. But as a point of comparison, here's a cork from a 2022 vintage Grand Cru Saint-Emilion. The wine's only been in bottle for about a year. The cork is absolutely pristine, as it should be. Now, with the Sociando Mallet, this has been in that bottle for more than 2 decades. It's still in good shape. It's not crumbling. It's a cork that has absolutely done its job. And part of the reason for that is the right cellar conditions. So 20 plus years ago, I bought a case of Sociando Mallet. And over that time, every few years, I'll have a bottle. Watching this wine evolve has been a lot of fun. This wine always has had great aging potential, and I absolutely love it. But the full potential is realized through having the wine stored properly. Now, with this wine, the starters are all positive. The fill level was very good. The color of the wine when it was poured is very healthy. And the third is the condition of the cork is very good. So let's see what's going on in terms of the aroma. Yeah, this is exactly what I would expect with a well-aged Bordeaux. That tertiary characteristic is really starting to come through. And those tertiary notes are all attributed to bottle age. There's a bit of a black olive characteristic, a little bit of like a cedary note as well. There's this cassis and black fruit character. Really smells wonderful. And there's a nice underlying element of that smoky charred oak. Oh yeah, uh, really nice on the palate. Plenty of weight, good extract. There's nothing thin or washed out about this wine at all. I mean, it's kind of a big boy style of wine. That black fruit character is there, the blackberry, cassis note, that olive character follows through. I don't remember that from previous bottles, but it's quite obvious in this one. The oak is seamlessly integrated. There's still some tannin here, and the structure leads me to believe this wine could age another 6 or 8 years without a whole lot of trouble. I'm glad I have a few more bottles to play around with down the road because I think this wine still has some evolution in it. But it's a beautiful wine from start to finish. And the reason this is showing so well is because of the cellar conditions. So my advice to you is the closest that you can get to those ideal conditions, the better chance you'll have of really having a good experience when you come around to opening the bottles. Love this wine. I'm going to be enjoying this for the rest of the evening. If you have any questions about cellaring wine, please drop me a note. I try to follow up on each and every one. I'm going to be drinking something fantastic tonight, the 98 Sociando Mallet. I hope you're drinking something interesting as well. And please stop back again before too long. Cheers.